Here. All right, Urgot versus. Oh God, Irelia. I am so sorry for you, man. I am so sorry. I know Urgot's supposed to have a good win rate against Irelia, but I really find this lane frustrating because she's one of those champions that played by somebody who knows what they're doing. Feels like you don't really have any counterplay. She lands a single stun on you, and at that point you have to run for your life, and in all likelihood you're not going to be able to run because she can dash on top of you. Her dash puts her behind you. So the direction you're trying to run away to, that's where she is. She can auto. She can use the stutter step to auto move, auto move, auto move, staying with you the entire time. If you flash to get away, you E to get away, she can then dash on top of you again because she gets a reset. If she has her ultimate at the time, good God, you're just screwed. Because she lands the stun, she dashes on top of you, she hits you with the point blank R, and now what do? She now has another dash reset. 3 dashes. And her absurd auto attack damage because of her passive. I want her passive to change so that it only gains benefit if she's hitting champions. Meaning that she can't stack it on minions. That would make her balanced again. Because then if she goes in on top of you, she's not just automatically at 100% power. You played like Iron Fun. Passive shouldn't improve base stats. I agree. A passive should not increase your starting strength. Like, it should not. It just feels weird that it increases your base power. That's not how it should work. Ah, you went for the E first? Wait, what are you doing? If you're going to E on top of her, you need to be autoing her. Good damage, though. There you go. Those are the shots. Like, if you had focused her instead of the minion wave, those extra shotguns, you potentially could have killed her. You actually had an absurd amount of damage off of that level 1 E. And now you got to be careful. She's about to hit 2. Yeah, now you got to back away. I feel like it was actually a mistake. Like, if you're going to E on top of her like that... Oh, dear. Fuck. If you had prepped your E for that stun... Potentially, you could have caught her after the dash under the turret. It would have been nasty. But yeah, if you're gonna like, this is one of those cases where I think like you should not have started E first because you wanted to get those minions. Starting W first would have led you to get the minions and even do decent damage to her. The E first, it meant that you had to give up farm if you wanted to actually really hurt. And that's really good damage you got on her. Oops, you should not have used your Q there. You just wasted a lot of mana using your Q, and the damage your Q does at this point is negligible. Better to save them. Oh, you're dead. No, she's dead. No! God, that is something... Yeah, she's dead. That's something I find so very frustrating. How do you choose which direction to E against an Irelia? Because her first dash puts her behind you, the second dash puts her back in front of you. Which direction do you choose? You E the wrong direction, you fail, and it's not fair. She's one of those champions I find so very frustrating because she's got all the play options and you don't. You have to either predict where she's going to be or wait till she uses everything. If the Irelia is smart, she won't use everything until you start using your stuff. Like right there, you predicted she'd be behind you and you were wrong, and that just sucks because there's nothing you could do the moment she used her second Q at that point. How do we get me to review games? First, you need the channel points, which you get just from watching the stream. Then, after you've made a request using channel points for a coaching game, you make sure that I get the video itself. Which, if you're playing on NA, and I can have you on my friends list, then and it's a game that was recent, I can specifically look it up and watch it through the client. If not, you just upload it to Dropbox. It's a RAWFL file. You just download it again using the League client. You get that RAWFL file, upload it to Dropbox or something similar, and then I download it and we watch it here. Yeah, right now I'd be very careful because she's level 5 and you're not. You want to wait until you hit level 5 as well. I'm surprised she didn't look for a fight. This huge minion wave, if she landed a stun on you while you were 4, it would have been horrible for you. Your advantage would have potentially evaporated right there. That was a mistake on her part. She could have easily wrecked you right there. Yeah, no, Jax, you want treats, but you gotta wait. After this game, I'll give you treats. You're farming really well, I think. Let me look at the scoreboard. Never mind. You're farming okay. You're less than 10 CS behind her and you have a kill. You're doing fine. Yeah, Irelia is just such a frustrating champion. I watched a pro game with an Irelia. The Irelia was playing against a ranged champion, but she was out farming the ranged champion so heavily it looked stupid. Because the ranged champion could not get close enough to farm. It's hard to CS when the Irelia can threaten your life from a screen away. At least as Urgot, you've got some bruiser qualities that allow you to potentially not die. I like your use of the S key. I removed the S key from myself a long time ago. I never found a value for it when I could have gotten used to using it, and now it's definitely way too late. I use it for wards and stuff, so oops. And now you're at the position where I think you should be hard shoved. This next wave you should hard shove. There you go. Exactly. Perfect. You're playing this perfect. You kept the wave slow pushing at first, and then hard shoved when the wave was large enough. Because if you didn't, she could potentially freeze it right here, and then you'd be in trouble. I also like the fact that you got a pink ward. And I like your location on the pink. You're not going to be able to steal this if he's got smite. That was a waste. But you got some good damage on him. But now you got to be careful. Nobody's coming to join you, and there's the Irelia. Good E, but you might be dead. Oh, yeah, you're dead. You're very dead. You needed to run this way. You needed to run this way. The problem was that it was just a huge mistake for you to contest this blue. Your Talon was backing at the time. Your Rammus was on the lower side of the map. You were alone. There was no reason for you to be here. And you had no expectation to be able to actually take this blue buff successfully. Because if the Shaco has smite, you cannot deal with it. All you did was leash it for him and then die. The moment you spotted that, you should have just backed away. You got knowledge. You know where the Shaco is? Great. Fantastic. You even dropped that pink ward there to give you some extra vision. You'd see where the Shaco is going. You could have dropped another ward there. Again, you would have been fine. Instead, you died for no reason. The Irelia got a kill that she never should have gotten. That was a huge mistake. A huge mistake that had literally zero upside. The only upside potential was if the Shaco didn't have smite. And even then, he could have still potentially got it out from under him. And then getting that blue buff, you would have died and transferred it onto the Irelia, which would have sucked even more. Yeah, in the client, if you look at your match history, you click the game that you want to share, there's a save icon that shows up that allows you to download the replay. And then you just find that raffle file and upload it. Oh. That E was, that was very ambitious. The only way that E was landing is if the Irelia kept moving forward. You should have just save your E. But now you got to be careful. Now she has an advantage. She's got the Vamp Scepter to your Ruby Crystal. She's actually richer than you now. That sucks. Honestly, I think she should be playing more aggressive than she is. Although, if the thing is, she needs to stack her passive if she wants to fight you, and she can't if you're sitting in the wave like this. Now, without taking damage, so I think your position is really good. Again, you should not be leaning forward like that. Now you're in trouble. Yeah, you're dead. You should be dead. Yeah, you're dead. You're not dead. Also, your queuing there was a mistake because she still had another Q refresh. You should have saved your Q to fire on yourself because she hit you with her R, dashed on you. Hit you with her E, dashed on you. She still had one more dash. At least if she was layering it correctly. She might have timed it poorly or something. But now her R is down, that's a lot less kill pressure. Right there, that's when you want to throw your E. When you see a minion you think she's going to Q to, that's when you throw your E. You need to throw it predictively. Like now. Like, you've got several opportunities to throw your E at her, and you're not doing that. You got, like, that's the key thing. For an Irelia, you got to punish predictability, and right now she's being very predictable. There's a minion, like this cannon, you got to expect she's going to try and dash you. You E at it before it's within dash range. And that way you can catch her. You're just wasting a lot of mana here and not landing anything because of that. Unfortunately, you need to predict the Irelia to be able to beat it. And I don't like using the E to block a shield unless you know you've got enough time to refresh the shield. Also, how the hell is your mana still so high? Pretty sure this isn't Hotline Miami. Yes, that is correct. We were doing Hotline Miami before we switched to this. And we'll go back to Hotline Miami, so suffice it if there's time to do so after this, which there should be. You're right, though. I should change the stream info real quick. Hold on. Just real quick change that. There. We were doing Hotline Miami earlier. And we will do some more again. Because the game is very fun. Rotating to take the crab, I like this. That's one way to take advantage of downtime in lane. Something that I didn't mention was win conditions. So looking at the teams, the win conditions are mostly, I'd say, Zed if he snowballs, Jhin, and Vel'Koz. Also Irelia. Irelia is definitely a win condition, but right now... Yeah, Irelia can definitely be a win condition. On your side, it's Talon if he snowballs, Caitlyn, and potentially Zed. Their team has more potential win conditions than yours. But your team also has a really good team fight. With the Rammus and you as frontline, while on their side they don't have a frontline at all. I mean, I said they have no frontline. Irelia, once she gets a few items, can definitely frontline. Not through tank item. Wait, what are you doing? She should kill you right now. Good flash. Oh god, look at that damage. You gotta be careful how you use your E. Because when you use your E, you put yourself out of position if you don't land it. You land it, you can kill it. But when you don't, oh god, you might. That was a goodie. That was a. Weird. Wait, why'd she flash? She could have killed you. That was really dumb. She could have killed you. And it looks like she still will. You should be dead. Yeah, you're dead. You needed to just leave the turret at that point. Her flash was premature. She just needed to auto you one more time to kill you. And she definitely had enough health to absorb another turret shot. There was no reason for her not to just kill you when she did. But I think the bigger issue here is, when you're using your E against an Irelia, there's two reasons to use it. One, when you think she's going to dash to a minion. You use your E to catch her when she does that dash, you're in good shape. The other reason is after she has hit you with the stun, you E behind you. Potentially, if she dashes to you, your E will then connect on her and put her in bad position. Though she'll be able to just Q on top of you again, at the very least you'll get a big shield and some opportunity to do some damage. When you E'd the way you did here, it was basically assuming that she would stand still for the next 0.4, 0.5 seconds until your dash would connect, which isn't going to happen. You got the Tiamat, but she already has a fucking blade of everything. That's disgusting. Yeah, your lane's screwed now, honestly. It's going to be really hard for you to deal with her now. Really close game, though. Your Talon's incredibly fed, which means he's definitely a win condition right now. Your bot lane's doing okay, although your Xerath is feeding up the storm. I like what you're doing here. Slapping a deep ward. Your pink ward has stayed alive this whole time. This was a great investment. This is something I should be doing when I play League. Pink ward in that brush. Very helpful ward. Nice Q. But yeah, now you got to be extremely careful because she has Blade of the Ruined King. Although she is... now you got to... yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you needed to E behind you. She might be dead. She's dead. Wow. Like, when she was about to land the stun, you needed E behind you. Your E would have connected. And it would have allowed you to just straight up win that ahead of time. The reason why she lost was because of a big minion wave. She needed to fight you with an even minion wave or no minion wave. It was really dumb on her part to look for a fight with all these minions. And good job using the W auto trick to do more damage to the turret. You can take this turret. Nice. And you allowed the turret to kill most of the minions as well. Very good. So that should be enough to get your Titanic. You should back. There you go. Played like iron, not like gold. Look, it's not exactly a fair thing to say because Irelia is one of those champions that a good Irelia can counter everything that you do. And the only way you're going to succeed is if you predict what she's going to do. See, that's the stupid part when it comes to Urgot. Everything you do is telegraphed. Everything the Irelia does is so fast that you don't have enough time to react. You need to predict. She can outplay everything you do by simply watching your animations and reacting to them. You cannot outplay what she's going to do unless you know what she's going to do beforehand. You need to be in her. You need to be in her brain in order to succeed. It's so stupid. So you got Titanic and Bramble, or excuse me, and Bombies. So you're going for the tank, you're doing the Titanic into tank itemization. It's something I want to try next time I play League, but I don't want to play League, so it'll probably be a while. I did say I'd play League every few weeks, if not once a month or something like that. It might be long enough, we'll see. Maybe next week I'll do a game of League or two. Just to see if it's as cancerous as I remember it. And I'll try this build out. Oh dear God, you're too. Oh dear God, you're too. There's no vision. There's just no vision. Why are you going? Why are you moving forward? There are 4 people that showed themselves. I don't think this is a good idea. Oh, he's dead. No, he's not. Oh, yes, he is. Firing your R blind was a mistake. Should have saved that. Because there are a lot of targets you could have gone for. There were 4 enemies there. You should have held on to your R. It would have made killing the Vel'Koz a lot easier. Wasn't blind, just missed. Well, you had an idea of where they would be, but the map did go dark when you fired it. That's what I mean by blind. It was predictable. It was based on information you had before you fired it, but by the time you fired it, that information was no longer accurate. I do it all the time, so that criticism is criticism that also belongs to me. When I played Urgot, I would also fire ults blind like that. Where I had information that gave me an idea that somebody might be there, and I hope that they are when I fire the R. Oftentimes it doesn't work. But when it does, you feel real good about yourself, so. Again, that criticism also belongs to me. I'm also kind of surprised you didn't teleport up here. You've got this wonderful pink ward and regular ward to TP to. Like, this is where I'd TP right now if I were you. You got 2 allies here. Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. There's way too many of them there. Never mind. That teleport would have been bad. That teleport would have been real bad. You don't know if that works? Probably does. I guess no more Hotline Miami. We'll just do another coaching game after this and call it a day. Hi, Jax. How you doing? Yes, I know. I'll give you treats. Yeah, stupid chasing after Zed like that. Oh, God. That Ram is dead. There. Yes, he is! Good shot from the Jhin. Very good shot from the Jhin. There was no point chasing the Zed. You're not going to catch him. The Zed picked up another kill. That's unfortunate. That was dumb of your Rammus. There was no reason to go for that chase. You guys didn't have enough vision to see who was where. And not only that, but a narrow area like the jungle the Vel'Koz are. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Dead Shaco, very good. Your Talon's fed. You opted for the Frostfire Gauntlet, huh? Honestly, I'm not a fan of that item on Urgot. I'd prefer to go for the Chempunk, the Righteous Glory, that one. Yes, there is. For Everywhere is my new band. Love that skin on Rammus. More health, more damage on Titanic. Nice. It just seems silly because you're not getting as much value out of the active on this item as you would from the Chem Tank. The Chem Tank you get great value out of. Man, this is screwed. Wow. Wow. It actually worked out. It actually worked out nicely. I thought the Rammus once again suicided there, but the Talon did so much damage. You were able to clean up nicely afterwards. That was very good. Yeah, it wasn't quite as narrow a situation as before, and this time the Rammus backed out early enough. And then the Talon jumped in and just mass murdered everyone. He's really fed. I want to see if I think he could have done things better. Sure. Look, honestly, I think you're going to learn more from games where you did poorly. But there's always something you can learn. Even in the games where you kick ass from beginning to end, there's always something to learn. I leave it up to you to decide which game you want to share. Because in the end, it's up to you. But I'm telling you this, games you do poorly on are the ones you're going to learn the most from. And it doesn't make sense to share a game just to show, hey, look how good I am on Urgot. It's pointless. Would I do live coaching? I'd prefer not. Because again, in the end, you don't necessarily know how somebody's going to perform in that way. You're going to gain more by having a game you did poorly on and going over that. Live coaching, I don't think you will get that. You really did think you're going to you want to... Sure. Entirely up to you, man. Yes, I know. By the way, are you done?
No, yeah.
Good, neither am I. Now I'm done. It's okay, Audrey. You can drink at your place. I'll drink at mine. And in the end, we'll both be happy. Oh my god, the Talon damage. That's a dead Shaco. Wow. Very dead Shaco. This Talon is outrageously fed. I said that he was a potential carry if he gets fed, and he's 13 and 5. He's the one you play around right now. He can easily get 1 or 2 picks on. By the way, Talon just got buffed. His W has a shorter cooldown and better scaling. Because that was something he needed. What am I drinking? White wine. Specifically, a Pardina, whatever that means. It's a Spanish wine. Very tasty. Good full flavor. Full body. A sweet white wine. I like those. I say sweet. It's not sugar sweet. It's just not dry. I'm not a big fan of dry wines. It's Jack's fur all over me. See, this is one of those moments where if you had Righteous Glory, such an easy situation to go, what the hell, why aren't you fighting? I'm surprised that you backed off from that. I feel like you could have fought her for sure. From an item perspective, you're much stronger than her. Not only that, but you're full level up on her. I don't know why you ran away. You should have waited till you can guarantee landing your E and then just all-end her. You would have killed her. This is not Irelia that's ahead of you. This is an Irelia that's behind. An Irelia that's behind doesn't beat Urgot. Now you got a full Thornveil. That might be why you didn't. You missed everything because you weren't patient. After she landed her R on you and dashed, that's when you needed to throw your E. And then you needed to throw it at where she was going to be. Remember, her Q always positions her behind you. Also, you should be watching this, keeping your teleport in view, in case you need to use it, but it doesn't look like you need to. But yeah, I think this is a good opportunity to go for Baron. I don't know if you should start it alone, because you're not going to be doing that much damage to it. You're going to take a lot of damage by tanking it solo, but you did take off 2 bars. And you took very little damage too, so maybe that was the right call. There's no vision though. What the fuck is Zareth doing? Drop some wards. There you go. Then yeah, this is free. Irelia is also bot. It's very free. And actually, if I were you, I would have gone topside to shove this out. You have teleport. If your team needs you, you can TP in. If you go top lane with Baron buff, you could easily push this turret down in seconds. And then teleport in. Why are they challenging Aramis? Why on earth are they challenging Aramis? It's really stupid. There's some people gonna die. Jesus, what on earth are they doing? They all end Aramis when they've got all this physical damage. Like, this is a Ramis dream team. The only person on their team... Oh, they spread it. The only person on their team who wouldn't do well is that the Ramis wouldn't do well against is the Vel'Koz. And they all end them like that. That was so dumb. That was so dumb. Just looking at the team comps, they handled that very poorly. And overall, I feel like... from a macro perspective, you played well. I feel like your rotations were relatively good. I feel like there were a couple of small things you probably could have done differently to increase your odds of success. Like right there, I don't think your team needed you. I feel like you could have gone top lane, shoved, taken a turret, and if your team really needed you, you could have teleported in. Your team was far enough ahead where you had enough time to complete a teleport to join them. It wasn't necessary for you to show up. And if it was necessary, you could easily have gotten it. You had teleport. Thing was, it didn't matter. That game was just basically over. Your Talon was so fed that he was all you needed to win. Kind of stupid, but it is what it is. All right, let me say that was redeemed. And Benny Fu will get you a game. The only other thing is I got to say, okay, just like specific tips that I can give when fighting an Irelia. Always remember that her Q dash puts her behind you. Always remember that if she's going to dash on top of you, it's usually because she has a reset and can dash again. Which means that she'll dash behind you and then dash again in front of you. The best thing you can do when dealing with an Irelia, remember, there are two things that she can do to give herself a dash reset. Her stun and her R. Those are the two things. If if she's about to land her stun, try to time your E so that you will negate the stun. If she's one of those hyper Aurelias that will pre-throw their Q knowing the stun's going to land, she'll dash right into your flip. And then you could potentially just kill her straight off of that. In addition to that, you needed to be more patient because there are two things you can. There are three ways to make your E more consistent. One is when you know that she has a dash reset, E away from yourself. E away from her because the dash will always land on the other side of you. The second thing you could do is predictively E. Like when she's farming in lane, and the only way she can successfully farm is by using a long-range W or dashing to a low-health minion. Use your E to dash at that low-health minion when you think she's going to dash as well. If you catch her off of that, it puts her in such a bad position you could potentially just straight up get a kill from that. The third thing you can do is just be patient. Because there are several times where the Irelia all-ends you, and then you just throw your E. And the E had no chance of landing because you pressed it and aimed it in a direction that was relevant at the time, but by the time your E actually moved, she was somewhere else completely because that's just how her kit works. You need to be patient. Wait until she's used up all of her dashes and then use your E. Use your E to either run away or more likely E her because it's hard to run away from an Irelia that already has several dash resets under her belt. You can E to her when she's basically out of dashes at that point and then just all in her and kill her. And you were ahead of her for most of that time. When you're ahead of an Irelia, all you really need to do is E on top of them and you just win. You land that E, there's no way they're winning at that point. If an Irelia is ahead, different story. At that point, you need to be cautious so that you never let her get dash resets. But yeah.